Whatever little thing, big deal, little deal, get over it. What today's tragedy is tomorrow's comedy. Get over it. I had a calamity of great proportions when I was 13 years old. It was the end of the world. Ruined the whole rest of my life. What happened was, when I was 13, I was in woodshop class. And as I was there, waiting in line to use the table saw, you know, the flat foot with the table. I'm waiting in line to take this mahogany board with the pencil line, go through, and cut it into 2 pieces. What I was going to do with the 2 pieces of mahogany board, I can't even remember. But anyway, I'm waiting in line, I'm talking to the guy behind me, and now it's finally my turn, and I go up, I take the board, take it right through on the pencil line, cut it into 2 pieces. I'm still talking to the guy behind me, and I very carefully take this hand right over the blade. That's what I said. These were like tendons. I mean, I could have pulled them off. These were a bloody mess. I started to rant and rave, and I started saying, I'm crippled. I won't be able to work. That was a major revelation. I'd never thought about working before in my whole life, but anyway. This was the end of the world. I was crippled. Get over it. 5 big things have happened to me. Not negative, not bad, not good things. 5 good things have happened to me. I don't know of any impediment in my life because of my crippled hand. Only 5 good things. For example, Mr. Stickles, the woodshop guy, the teacher, he used me as a bad example. He said, yeah, don't follow that Bill Stubler and get your fingers cut off. You know how many fingers I probably saved? Maybe a concert pianist in there somewhere. Because I was a bad example. A blessing in disguise. Later, when my hand healed, I turned out, in my baseball adventures, I could actually hit better for some crazy reason, because I had to kind of cradle the bat, and I had a better swing, better control of the bat. I was better at my hitting. Then when I'm 17, I go to the draft board. You're supposed to do that. I suppose they still do that. I don't know. Of course, you were in the Civil War, so we don't even want to talk about it. Anyway. So I go to the draft board. 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired. I'm irritated. All these papers. Goes on and on and on. Now it's noon. I'm even more tired and more irritated. This is going on forever. 3 o'clock, I think, well, how about if I'll show the guy at the desk my hand. And he says, sign this. I'm out the door in 2 minutes. Blessing number 3. Do you think I was born to be a general? You're not sure. Probably not. I'm probably more like Woody Allen in his draft certification. He was qualified. He was registered as a 1H. In case of war, he was designated as a hostage. So I got out of the war. That's 3. Then, a couple years later, I'm in the shipyards, working in the shipyards. If I hadn't learned a healthy respect for machinery, I would have been like a babe in the woods, a lamb to the slaughter with all those big machines. I would have died in the first half an hour, probably. To give you an idea how naive I was, my dad said, my son works in the shipyards. He's an apprentice painter. He's been there for 6 months as an apprentice painter. Next month, they're going to give him a brush. So because of that experience at 13, it saved my life. That's blessing number 4. Are we counting? Are we keeping up on this? Okay. Then later on, I wanted to show my kids as they're growing up, don't make a big deal out of little deals. And so I always refer to this as my crippled hand to my kids. They still call it my crippled hand. Well, when they would come home from school with their their chum, 5 and 6 and 8 years old, they'd say, hey, you want to see my dad's crippled hand? Huh? So I'd show them. And I think maybe the kids learn from that, don't make a big deal out of little things. And they all have a sense of humor. And they don't seem to have things bother them. And that's what we need to do, is not let things bother us. Don't make a big deal out of something. Just keep going. Whatever we think is a big deal today is a little deal down the road. Don't cry over spilled milk. Unless, of course, it's chocolate milk. But there are people, I don't know if there's anybody here. Is anybody here still eating over something when they were 13 that's still carrying on? I talked with a lady 10 years ago, but I still remember it. She said, I still have issues with my mom. I says, your mom? Yeah, when I was home with my mom. Turned out she was 62. She left home when she was 17. She still had issues with her mom. I asked her, well, what benefit do you get from this rancor with your mom? What do you get out of it? She couldn't think of anything. So here's my thought. I haven't any great challenges. I haven't lost my sight or a limb or anything. But hopefully, any of us here, if we have a challenge, get over it. It's not going to be a big deal. If we can just get over it, everything's going to be okay. So, get over it. Mr. Toastmaster.